Hello, movie lovers! Bob for Bob's Movie Review here, and today I'm bringing you my January and February 2020 Blu-ray and DVD collection update. Alright, so I'm a little behind. I didn't get the January video up. I was just really busy, and I was kind of considering not doing these videos anymore. They used to be kind of popular, but I think since I'm doing weekly reviews now, people don't watch this video as much, and it's kind of a lot of time and a lot of organizational skills to get this video out. So what do you guys think? Should I just quit doing these monthly updates? I think there's roughly 70 titles, crazy, almost 100 movies in 2 months. Of course, I didn't watch all of them. But probably more than half. So please forgive me if I can't remember a lot about the movies. I don't know. I just never really in my wildest dreams thought I would be to the point where I'm at. And I always say this, but I owe it all to you guys. Well, I owe at least a lot of it. I work pretty hard too. But so let's get into it, guys. Lionsgate and Paramount seem to be in a competition for who would send over the most titles. But I believe Lionsgate won. So first up, Waves, released on Blu-ray or DVD. Now this was an amazing movie, guys, from A24 about this family, and the son has been pushed really hard. He's a 17, 18-year-old teenager on the wrestling team, and he's going to go to college for wrestling, and his life kind of really just spirals out of control. And then and the second half is kind of about his sister and what happens to her. A great movie, guys. Check that one out for sure. Next up, Lionsgate sent over Trauma Center. This one has Bruce Willis, but he wasn't really the star of the movie, and his acting was pretty shady in this one. But it's basically about this woman who sees this murder of a cop, and so the people who killed him are after her, and she gets shot, and I think it was, and she's in the hospital, and she's trying to escape the would-be killers. It's an okay movie. The woman, Nikki Whalen, she was really good. It's an okay movie. Lionsgate sent over Knives Out. Now this one was a mystery about this famous writer, and he's rich, his family's all got lots of money, and he commits suicide, but then Daniel Craig shows up to investigate, and he believes it may have been murder, and it's this whole just mystery about what happened that night. A little strange on this one, though. They do reveal the killer fairly early in the movie, which is very strange, but then there's a whole lot more mystery still to go in that one. Check this one out for sure, guys. I really enjoyed that one. I was a little iffy on it for a bit, but I definitely enjoyed it. Lionsgate also sent over The Great War, and this was a movie about World War I and this group of African-American soldiers who kind of get lost behind enemy lines, and these guys have to go save them, even though, they don't necessarily want to. That was an okay movie. Next up, Lionsgate sent over Arctic Dogs, and this was about this Arctic fox or something. I can't remember. And he wanted to be a dog sled delivery dog. Yeah. But he was too little. There's kind of like an evil enemy. I like this one, guys. I thought it was pretty good. A fun little animated title on that one. Next up, Lionsgate sent over the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. I wasn't really a huge fan of this one. A lot of people are saying it's because I didn't really follow the franchise. I saw a couple of the movies, but it's been years. Well, I just thought the humor was really stale. I mean, I know you're gonna say, they're making references to the other movies, but they just tried way too hard to be meta in this movie, and I always just find that to be super annoying. And the jokes for me just didn't work. Next up, Lionsgate sent over Jexy. Now this one is about this guy who's kind of a loner, and he spends a lot of time on his phone, and he gets a new phone, and the AI kind of just takes over his life and controls him. And it's kind of a rom-com, but I thought it was really funny, and I really like the story, guys. I really enjoyed this one. Check that one out if you haven't already. Next up, Lionsgate sent over MacGyver Season 3, and this is the new MacGyver, not the old Richard Dean Anderson one, but this is the newer one, guys. And I don't think it's as good as the original, but I did definitely like it. I haven't seen the first 2 seasons, so Something I got to go back and do. I do have them, I just haven't watched them. But I like it. If you guys like MacGyver, check that one out. And definitely, guys, one of the sleeper hits of the update here. Lionsgate did send over Line of Duty for review. I love this movie, guys. It was so cool. I did talk to the director a little bit on social media, but he said that, this was kind of supposed to be like a throwback action film, and it's about this kid gets abducted, and she's like the daughter of the chief, or I don't remember exactly what he was. And so Aaron Eckhart's character has to go find her, and he meets this woman, and they kind of go looking for her together. And there's action and comedy, and there's a lot of fun, guys. Definitely check this one out. I guess it is now on Amazon Prime as well. But I'd say purchase it. Definitely support this movie. Next up, Lionsgate sent over The Lighthouse. To me, this movie, I don't know why people buzzed about it so much. I feel like just with A24 titles, people really just buzz about them because they're A24 titles. Like, I don't know. This movie was so weird. It's black and white. Okay, fine, whatever. It's in, they call it pillbox or pillbox. It's full screen. I did not understand the artistic reason behind making this movie in full screen. Why? I don't know. It's just a weird gimmick about these two guys who are, like lighthouse keepers, and they're out on this remote island, and they go kind of crazy, and not really a lot happens. It's just kind of a really strange movie. I don't know. I didn't dig it too much. It was all right, but I mean, it wasn't a movie that I would get super excited about. And the last one Lionsgate sent over was The Courier. Now, this one had Gary Oldman, but it was in a smaller role. He wasn't great in it. It wasn't like a movie I would say to watch for Gary Oldman. But I'm trying to remember exactly what happens. This guy, he's going to testify against Gary Oldman, and then they're going to kill him or something when he's in protective custody. And this woman is supposed to bring this package to him, but it's like some sort of biological or nerve agent, or I can't remember. Some kind of bomb's gonna explode, and then she has to help him escape because she didn't know she was delivering this bomb. And it was a fun little action thing. Like, the story was nothing but just for action, fun, popcorn kind of movie. That one was pretty good. I did like it. I'm gonna go a little bit out of order here just because I want to get this box off my desk. I did pick up the Scooby-Doo Where Are You complete collection Blu-ray. I did record an unboxing of this, but I have not posted it yet. It's a little long, so I've just been dreading editing it. But one of my favorite shows for sure, definitely one of my favorite cartoons in this cool Blu-ray box set. And I think my wife and I had got a gift card or something for Christmas or something like that for Amazon, and we just put it towards this. All right, now for Paramount, sent over Twilight Zone, the complete first season. Now, this is the new CBS All Access, or you guys have trouble remembering what all these streaming services are called now, but they sent over the Twilight Zone season 1 on Blu-ray. I believe this was 10 episodes. You guys probably know what the Twilight Zone is. Each episode is just like a completely different show, and they just kind of revolve around sci-fi and horror and different possible scenarios. Jordan Peele is the host and narrator, and pretty much every episode has a guest star. I enjoyed it, guys. I feel like the first half was really strong. The second half, to me, it kind of fell off actually quite a bit, but I definitely enjoyed it. I hope they do bring it back for a season 2. I hope they could pick up with some of the magic they had in the first few episodes. Paramount also sent over The Hunt for Red October on 4K Steelbook. This is the first time I had ever seen this one. Of course, I had heard of it, but I'd never seen it. Sean Connery is a Russian submarine captain, and he's defecting, and he wants to come to the U.S. and bring him this new subsonic or something technology. But nobody, the U.S. doesn't know if he's coming for war or he might be defecting, and the Russians are trying to kill him because they think he's defecting. Movie starts out real slow, but definitely about the halfway mark, picks up quite a bit. Definitely enjoyed it. I like this one. It's not I don't think it's like a great war movie, but I think but I did definitely enjoy it starting in the second half. Next up, Paramount sent over Shutter Island 4K Steelbook. Now, I had never seen Shutter Island before. I highly enjoyed this movie, guys. Leonardo DiCaprio goes to investigate a disappearance at a insane asylum or psychiatric hospital or whatever you want to call it. And there's like this mystery, more than meets the eye. Definitely, if you guys have not ever seen this one, put it pretty high up on your list to check out. Next up, Paramount sent over Mob Town. This one has David Arquette, who plays a cop in a small town, and the mob is throwing a party there in his town, and he's kind of like investigating it, and they ended up catching like all these mob bosses and stuff based on a true story. It was okay. The budget, I think, could have really helped out this movie if it was a little bit higher, but it's worth a watch. Next up, Paramount Pictures sent over Playing with Fire. This was a movie that people kind of hated on, and they didn't seem to think it was too great. I enjoyed it. John Cena is this wildfire base commander, or, it's hard to remember all these titles, but basically him and his team, they find these kids in this cabin that's on fire, and they bring them back to the base to take care of them for the weekend while they try to find their parents, and lots of just funny hijinks ensue. Definitely a family-friendly movie, but I think pretty enjoyable for adults. I definitely enjoyed that one. Next up, Paramount sent over I See You, and this one had Helen Hunt in where her family, in where there's these really weird kind of things going on in their house, and you kind of see the movie several times from different perspectives. Definitely not what I was expecting. Definitely enjoyed this one, guys. If you have not seen it, check it out for sure. I don't want to give away too much because it'll ruin it. Paramount also sent over Gemini Man on 4K. Interesting movie about Will Smith's character is cloned, and a younger clone comes to kill him. Story's all right. Will Smith is always good, and like I said, story's okay. You got to get this one in 4K though. 60 frames per second, has this really amazing crystal clarity to it. I don't know. It's even hard to describe just how it looks. Some of CGI though was a bit off for sure, but overall, guys, I liked this movie. A lot of people were complaining about the story. I didn't think there was anything wrong with the story. I liked it. Another one a lot of people complain about, Paramount did send over Terminator Dark Fate for review. I enjoyed this movie, guys. In this one, it's sequel to Terminator 2, and right at the beginning they kind of I don't know if they give a middle finger to the audience or what, but just kind of a shocking scene right at the beginning that you definitely wouldn't see coming. But it's kind of needed to explain like how Arnold comes back and how Sarah Connor comes back. So so I don't think it's the worst, but all these Terminator movies, they don't make a lot of sense. Like, why doesn't Skynet send a whole bunch of Terminators back? Like, why can't the one Terminator ever kill the one person they need to kill? They kill hundreds of other people, but they can never get the one person they need to kill. In a lot of ways, a lot of things in this felt like a remake of Terminator 2, just in the way they did it. The new Terminator seemed more like the T-1000 than anything else. But these are just fun action movies, Arnold's always good. He's not in this one a ton, but he's always good. And, I like the cast. I thought it was a fun movie. Give it a chance at least, guys. The last thing Paramount sent over was the Beverly Hills Cop trilogy on Blu-ray. 3 great movies. I was always a huge fan of the third one. Like, I remember so many times just watching that when I was growing up. About a cop who always seems to leave Detroit and go to Beverly Hills and solve some sort of murder. And, Eddie Murphy definitely in his prime. 3 great movies, all on Blu-ray. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but I didn't get any Mill Creek titles for February, and I asked them, and they're like, "Oh, you didn't request anything." So they did end up sending me some stuff, but I haven't gotten through everything yet. I got it real late in the month, and so I just have a couple here. When a Stranger Calls. Now, this is the original one from 1979, and you guys know the story. This woman is babysitting, and somebody calls and like, "Have you checked on the children?" And then the children end up being dead. This one I think starts out real good. It's got a real creepy atmosphere, really well done. Then the middle just becomes this weird manhunt kind of thing where this guy's private eyes trying to find this guy. I thought in the end this movie was okay. Like I don't know. The middle is just slow and weird, and I definitely like the horror elements more in this one. Next up, they sent over Restricted Area. This was a super low budget. I think this is an ITN. This is an ITN film about about these people who are looking for a party. I think in the woods. I think they kept saying raver. I thought they were saying ranger, like they were looking for the park ranger or something. But I think they were saying raver, and it was okay. Like everything was just super mediocre. I don't know what the deal was with the camera just shaking the whole time. Like they couldn't afford a tripod, or I don't know. It was, and every single like they really drew out the runtime on this one. Like every single scene would start with the camera pointing at something and then panning across to the cast. Like every scene, you just see this, and it just like drug out the movie for such a long time. This one does have Sean C. Phillips, but yeah, these are usually pretty cheap and very low budget titles. So I mean, you should already know what you're getting into. Right. Mill Creek Entertainment also sent over the Mindy Project, the complete series. This one has Mindy Kaling, and she plays a doctor, and it's about just like her love life and her work life and just kind of getting by. And I like it. It's no Office, but it's definitely a fun show. Mill Creek also sent over A Psycho's Path, about this killer. I don't remember much about it. I remember a super forgettable. This is another ITN movie. Last one from Mill Creek was Savage Creatures. This is another ITN title, but this one, it did have its low budget terribleness, but kind of interesting movie about like zombies and vampires and the end of the world and just kind of all this stuff. I really like the story and such, but it was an okay movie. Warner Brothers sent over Swamp Thing, the complete first season. Now, I was definitely looking forward to this one, and I was not disappointed. This has a very dark atmosphere, a little more sci-fi or mystical than I would have thought, about this guy who gets turned into a swamp creature, and a lot of stuff kind of happens in the swamp, illegal stuff, and I definitely like this one, guys. I wish they wouldn't have canceled it, but I definitely like the first season. Warner Brothers also sent over Dr. Sleep for review. This is the sequel to The Shining, and that's little Danny boy all grown up, and kind of a little bit different story than I would have expected. And I've said this before, but for the runtime, I really wish they would have explained more of what was going on. But basically, there's people who live off the shine. They're kind of like vampires, they live forever, but they got to keep feeding on the shine. And Danny and some other people are trying to escape them. So like I say, it's a little strange, and the connection is a little weak, but I definitely enjoyed it for sure. Wish it had been a little shorter. Warner Brothers also sent over Motherless Brooklyn, and this one had Bruce Willis, where he's like a PI, and he gets murdered, and the rest of his guys that work at his place, they have to figure out what happened to him. It was okay. I wasn't a huge fan, but I did enjoy it. I don't remember a whole lot more about it. And one of the greatest titles of the update, Warner Brothers sent over Joker for review. Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker. So great. This is the origin story, a more realistic, dark, gritty tale about a man with mental health issues who is pushed over the edge and becomes the Joker. A little long, and like if I'm just being 100% honest on this movie, it is super slow. Like there's not a lot going on through a lot of the movie, but it's more about just developing this character, and I highly enjoyed it. There's some crazy WTF moments. I really loved how they ended it and how it kind of set up the Joker kind of reigning over Gotham. Definitely check this one out, guys. I believe in January was the first time ever Universal sent me some titles, which is really cool. They never sent me anything before, so super pumped to check out some of their titles. They sent over Dragonheart Vengeance, and this one was about this kid trying to get vengeance for his family, and he's got to find the people who killed him, and he asks a dragon for help. And overall, the story was pretty enjoyable. The dragon CGI was not great, but overall, I did like the movie. Great slipcover on this. If you guys want to get this movie, make sure you get the slipcover. Universal also sent over The Addams Family, the new animated movie. I thought this movie was all right. I'm not a huge fan of The Addams Family, which seems strange because like so many people are, but I don't know. I just never find it that funny. The movie's all right. This woman wants to kick the Addams Family out of their house and put in a subdivision or something. Last one from Universal, they sent over Countdown for review, and this one was about these people who download this app on their phone and it tells you when you're gonna die. PG-13 horror movie, but actually I felt like it was done pretty well. I definitely enjoyed this one. I thought it was kind of creepy, and I liked it, guys. Next up, 4 Digital Media sent over The Hunt for Vlad the Impaler, and this is about Vlad the Impaler, and was it his brother or something? And they kind of let Vlad do his thing, and then he's like killing all these innocent people, and they're like, well, you got to stop, and he doesn't want to, so they kind of go to war. Definitely an interesting movie for sure. Next up, 4 Digital Media sent over Invasion Planet Earth. And this one was about these aliens who come to invasion of Earth. But a little strange. I was very confused on this one, and a kind of a twist ending. It was okay. I didn't love it, but it was all right. Last one from 4 Digital Media, they sent over Dark Encounter. This was another alien movie, but this one was about alien abductions and this girl who goes missing, and people believe it was aliens. The story's a little weird and coincidental. There's a strange twist that I don't know. To me, it's just weird to put in an alien movie. But overall, I felt like this was a pretty good movie. Just that twist was kind of out there. I'm going to go over these real quick. Welgo USA sent over First Love, The Night of Shadows, and The Battle of Jangzari. Now, this one was about the Korean War. These young Korean soldiers. This one was really good. Definitely check that one out, guys. These two I don't remember quite so well. This one had Jackie Chan. I remember this was a really weird, hard to follow movie. And I can't remember that one. Sorry. Dark Sky Films sent over Killer Weekend. This one was a horror comedy about these guys who go on this like bachelor weekend at this paintball zombie hunting thing, and things get out of control, and before you know it, like everybody's getting murdered for real. If you guys are into horror comedies, definitely give that one a chance. Next up is Girl on the Third Floor. This one, a lot of people are excited for because it has CM Punk, and he's like bought this house and he's renovating it before he moves his family in, but there's like these spirits and stuff in there, and just lots of really weird stuff happens. This movie was okay. The last one from Dark Sky Films was Siren, about this guy who goes to stay in this cabin on a lake, and there's this woman in the water who kills people. I don't know, guys. I didn't care too much for this one. A lot of just weird kind of shots of nothing. It almost felt like they were just trying to fill out the runtime. Almost no dialogue because the main character can't talk. The siren doesn't talk much. To me, it just wasn't one that I was super interested in. Magnet Releasing sent over Wrinkles the Clown, and this was a documentary about this guy in Florida who plays this character Wrinkles, and he kind of would let people call, and he would scare their kids to try to make them good, and then somehow it became well known, and now he gets like thousands of calls every day. Definitely interesting on that one. GVN sent over this high-strung free dance about these people who are making this musical or play. It wasn't a play, it was a musical, I guess. And it involves a lot of singing and dancing. I actually kind of like this movie, guys. I thought it was well acted, and I enjoyed the story. I just wish when they did these things, like, they wouldn't be like, we have to have a song every 20 seconds, It just starts to feel really unnatural. You get a scene, a song, a scene, a song, and I just get tired of it after a while. But I did like this one. RLJE Films sent over The Shed. This is a modern vampire tale about this. I assume he was a vampire at the time, or if he just gotten bit by a vampire or whatever. And he goes and hides in the shed, and then this kid finds him in there, and he kind of keeps him locked up in there. And it's definitely an interesting movie for sure. Last thing sent to me for review came from Artsploitation Films. This is a movie called We. This one came from the Netherlands, and it's about this group of young adults, or 16, 17, 18-year-olds, or whatever they were, kind of going crazy for the summer, and they need money, so they decide to make porn, and then that doesn't make enough money, so they decide to become prostitutes. And it was just this story about their summer, and then one of their friends ends up dying, and they kind of have to relive the whole situation. Interesting film, graphic, lots of nudity and such. It was an okay movie. So that was everything that was sent to me for review. Now I will talk about everything I picked up. I probably didn't see a lot of these. I did get the Ford versus Ferrari 4K Steelbook. I haven't seen that one yet. I definitely need to check it out. I got the Black Panther 4K Steelbook. I definitely like that movie for sure. I got the Wreck-It Ralph Mondo Steelbook. Love that movie. John C. Reilly is the GOAT. I picked up the Midway 4K Steelbook. I picked up the Frozen 2 4K Steelbook. My wife wanted to watch this the other day. I watched some of it, but man, there's a lot of music in this one. I wasn't digging it. I picked up the Karate Kid on 4K. The Salem's Lot Blu-ray Steelbook. Cat's Eye Blu-ray Steelbook. I've never seen Cat's Eye or Salem's Lot. Friday the 13th Killer Cut Blu-ray. Now this is like the most recent Friday the 13th, I believe. I don't think they made one since this. They're going to be releasing the original Friday the 13th Steelbook here in a couple months. Terminator Dark Fate 4K Steelbook. I just love this Steelbook. I've been trying to cut back on Steelbooks a little bit now that they've become like 20 a week or whatever. They just seem to be releasing so many. And I've been trying to hold back on ones that I get for review. But I just like the Steelbook too much. Had to pick it up. The Jungle Book live action 4K Steelbook. Maleficent Mistress of Evil 4K Steelbook. The Last Man Standing Season 1 DVD. I've never really seen the show. I know my parents watch it and my wife watches it, but I've never really seen it. The final season of Ballers on Blu-ray. I still haven't started this show. Rambo Last Blood on 4K. 1031 Part 2 on Blu-ray. Bone Tomahawk on Blu-ray. Uncle Buck on Blu-ray. American Pie Presents Bandcamp on Blu-ray. I haven't checked this one out yet. I just haven't had a chance. Definitely want to check out that Blu-ray. Return of Swamp Thing on Blu-ray. Rock Dog on Blu-ray. The Wave on Blu-ray. And I did get the Slumber Party Massacre Steelbook. Alright guys, I did rush through this one a bit. I've been coughing a ton. It take a lot of editing to get all that out. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on these movies. Hope you enjoyed. If you haven't already, subscribe for more videos, check out suggested videos, and for more movie news, check out my website, BobsMovieReview.com. And I'll see you guys next time.